Okay, what's up, guys? Warfare back at it again. Let's dive in. Alright, for this setup here, we will be covering the Heartbreaker setup. I had updated this setup slightly from the last build I had. Mainly had the ninja backpack on here. So now we're going to switch this up. So first off, specialization, technician, specialization. Going to use tech specialization mainly for laser, the link laser pointer. That's going to allow you guys to pulse the target, completely bypassing the need for the three kill requirement in order to apply pulse to the next target. So with the Kingbreaker combination with the talent perfect flatline, you can instantly get that free 20% damage to pulsed enemies. It's the biggest thing for using the link laser pointer for this setup. So technician specialization, weapon setup here, you guys can run whatever you want for the third slot. I'm just ranking up that 93R pistol. I do have the rock and roll. For this, I would highly recommend you use the ACS 12 or rock and roll ACS 12 variant for a lefty, due to its high rate of fire. That's the biggest thing with this setup. If you could definitely get that shotgun damage to armor, and damage to target out of cover, that's cool with the rock and roll. And then that perfectly extra, that 50% magazine capacity does help with this. But you want that because this is going to help build those stacks on the Heartbreaker gear set itself, which I'll cover in a little bit. That's what you want to get though. Now for the primary itself, I'm going to run Kingbreaker, from what I had stated before. Due to that perfect flatline with the link laser pointer, you're going to get that free 20% weapons damage to pulsed enemies. Now you can run other weapons as well with this setup. So example, if you have St. Elmo's engine, you can run St. Elmo's engine. If you have Shield Breaker or F2000, you can run those. You can run whatever primary you have. If it has flatline, I think it's more efficient because of the 15% free damage that you get. So that's why I'm doing that. But any other weapon, you can run whatever you're comfortable with for your playstyle. But for me, Kingbreaker, I'm running that. I gave you the reasons for that. So that's my setup here. Now remember, because this setup, this is definitely for newer agents, so you guys can set it up for whatever kind of playstyle that fits your needs. That's the better part, so you can have some fun with this. Now armor. Gear set wise, cover chest piece, backpack, chest piece. We're going to be running the Belstone Armory brand set here for both the chest piece and the backpack. Why? Because of that 1% armor regen and that 10% armor on kill combination here. So that's the reason for running that actual brand set there. Secondly, the talents themselves. But let's go over chest piece. You got core arm, the armor core attribute, crit hit chance, and double crit hit damage here. Now the talent for this, we're going to be running intimidate for this chest piece itself, because when you have that bonus armor, which you will get from running the Heartbreaker setup, which I'll cover in a little bit, you're going to get a max of 9. That stacks up. It's going to stack up to 9. Okay, and that's going to increase weapons damage by 4%. So you'll get 36% free damage as long as you can maintain the bonus armor stacks. So that's the biggest thing there. Okay, now the backpack itself, here you got armor core, double crit hit chance, double crit damage and 1 crit hit chance. We're going to be running vigilance on this one. You'll get 25% weapons damage as long as you don't take damage. If you take damage, you lose this buff for 4 seconds, you'll re-get the buff. So free weapons damage for vigilance. So that's the two setup here. Now we're gonna run a 4-piece Heartbreaker setup here. You can already see 2 pieces. You're gonna get that 15% assault rifle damage. Don't worry about LMG damage. We're not running LMG. 3-piece, 15% weapons handling, which helps with a number of things: reload, accuracy, stability, weapon swap speed. It helps with those things. That's what weapons handling helps. And then 4-piece, you're gonna get that Heartstopper. Now, like I said, you can run any weapon that doesn't have the flatline, where you can't use the link laser pointer. You can still run the Heartbreaker setup even without the link laser pointer with Technician. Just know that you have to get headshots. The headshots is what's going to apply the pulse for those 5 seconds. Okay, so you can run St. Elmo's engines perfectly fine with this setup. Just remember, you have to get headshots in order to pulse them. And then all the benefits you get from this gear set will apply. Now, on pulse enemies, that's why we're rocking the link laser pointer on the Kingbreaker itself here, because once you pulse them, you're going to be able to get stacks of bonus armor and weapons damage to pulsed enemies, and that's up to 50 stacks. So that's plus 1% for weapons damage. So if you can land all your shots, you're going to be able to get up to 50% weapons damage on top of the flatline perk, so that's 20% there. In combination with Intimidate, you get 36% weapons damage there, and then Vigilance, 25% weapons damage there. So we're getting a nice amount of damage from a couple of different areas with this setup. Now, back to the chest piece, you guys, what I find optional here is the Intimidate talent, which works very well with this build, or if you got a Belstone that has Obliterate, like I had one in here. Here it is. Yeah, so if you got one that has Obliterate, that works too, because you're gonna get 25% free damage, weapons damage off of critical hits, which is good. So Obliterate or Intimidate, one of those 2 talents will suffice with that Vigilance. Now, we got mask set up here. Sorry, excuse me. Mask set up here. You got armor, core, and you got crit hit damage, crit hit chance. Holster set up, weapon damage, core, and then I wanted to swap out that health for possibly a critical hit chance or crit hit damage, but I'm working with it. Knees, armor, core, critical hit chance. Arms or the gloves, crit hit damage. Sorry, weapons damage, jeez, and critical hit damage. So that's set up there. Now for this, why do I have pulse? I don't know why I have jammer on there. Oh yeah, the jammer works, but we're gonna run, you can alternate this depending on what you need for situation wise. I prefer the drone, but if we need to run the pulse for jammer for like the dogs, the robotic dogs, you can use jammer. Whatever works for you. I'm gonna always keep the shield there, because that shield does help in certain situations where you have some cover, and then the cover the shield provides, while you can engage at the same time, it will help prevent you from taking on damage, which, remember, if you take damage, you lose the Vigilance talent, weapons, 25% weapons damage for 4 seconds. So that shield comes in clutch when protecting yourself from enemy fire, in order to keep this buff going in combination with everything else that we have going on here. With the Intimidate or Obliterate, if you're rocking it, the Heartbreaker setup itself, up to 50% weapons damage, and then the Kingbreaker. So that's how this whole setup works. Okay. Now, stats wise, let's see here. Why is that down? Am I missing a piece here? I am not. Okay, cool. So stats, here's what we got for stats. So weapons damage, we're sitting at 110k. Crit hit chance 44%, crit damage 112.6%, headshot damage 55%. So definitely get those headshot damage in. And then remember what I was talking about with the 15% weapons handling that you get just rocking the Heartbreaker setup. All this applies. So reload speed, accuracy, stability, weapon swap, that goes to weapons handling right over here. Improves reload speed, swap speed, accuracy, stability of weapons. Now this is gonna bump up based off of your keener watch as well too. So like for me, reload speed bonus here, keener watch is at 50/50, stability here 50/50, in combination with the 15%. So we're getting that 10%. If you have everything maxed on your watch, you'll get an additional 10% per stat. So that's how that works. Okay, so overall this is your damage bonus 46%, then assault rifle damage bonus 42.3%. so that is a 88.3% overall damage, so that helps. Now armor wise, we're sitting at 1.4 mil. You're going to get 136,000 armor on kill. That's that 10% armor on kill, which that it helps, it benefits the more armor cores you have as well. I only have I think like 5. And then armor regen, because we get the 1% armor regen, which it does help. It does help a lot. And that's the whole setup. That's your stats right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and run some combat play so we can do this. I'm actually gonna run that Keener mission. It's actually, or the Kessel mission. It's actually pretty fun. So let's get into some combat play. Stand by.
Attention, all units. Cassandra located at the chamber. Eliminate the agents and intercept the asset.
Cassandra? Lau is dead. We recovered her body. They cremated her. There's no way.
Jeez, yeah, both are down. Come on. Alright, so that's that whole setup here on this particular build. So like I said before, you guys can run with this setup. You can run with the Belstone chest piece, Obliterate, or the Intimidate. Just remember, Obliterate, you're going to get 25% weapons damage. Intimidate, as long as you keep the armor, the bonus armor going, you'll get 36% weapons damage. So that's the difference there. Alright. If you found value in the video, definitely give me a like and subscribe. Until then, Warfare out.